Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim and Assalamu Alaikum. Today we will start chapter number 4, this structure of molecule. In this chapter we will study how and why atoms form chemical bond. What are the rules under which atoms combine together? What are the types of chemical bonds? And at the end we will study the intermolecular forces. So let me start from the topic why atom form chemical bonds. We know that everything in this universe wants to get stability. For example, water flow from higher level to lower level. Heat flows from hot body to cold body, and electricity flow from higher to low potential. All these processes involve stability. So, like the other processes where everything wants to get stability, atoms are also unstable and they also wants to get stability. But the instability of atom is quite different from the other thing. The instability of atoms lies in incomplete valence shell. So we say that atom combine together with one another so that they get stabilized. Now, why atoms are unstable? The instability of atoms lies in its incomplete valence shell. Now, in order to get stability, atoms of same element or atoms of different elements combine together to form a molecule or formula unit, as the case may be. Now, during their stability, atoms will either lose electron, gain electron, but the main purpose of stability is to complete its valence shell. Remember that combination of atom is an exothermic process. It means that when atoms get stability, they will have to lose their energy. Atoms in free state would have a high energy. If you look at the diagram, where on y-axis there is energy which increase from bottom to top, while from left to right interatomic distance. Now these two atoms are quite away from each other. That is why their energy is higher. As the atoms come closer, they will lose energy, and at the end, when there is sufficient attractive force created between two atoms in the formation of chemical bond, they are at lower energy. So it means that when atom form a chemical bond or a combination, a chemical combination, they will have to lose their energy. It means that the energy of a molecule is lesser than the energy of atom in atomic state. Now there are some concepts which are provided, which are introduced for chemical bond formation. The first concept was introduced by Lewis in 1916, and this concept is said to be the valence concept, while the second concept is said to be the orbital concept. As we know that atom losing, gaining or sharing electron in order to complete their octet, as I mentioned earlier, that during for the completion of its octet, atom will have either to lose electron, to gain electron, or to share electrons. Now, Lewis says that all noble gases are not react or less reactive. They are inert because they do not react with atoms of other element. So if atoms wants to get stability, they will have to acquire the noble gas electronic configuration. For this purpose, atom will have either to lose electron, to gain electron, or to share electron. So if an atoms gain or lose or share electron, and if their valence shell acquire the noble gas electronic configuration, then we will say that the atom gets stability. For this purpose, G. N. Lewis introduce two rules. One is the rule of two. It means that when an atom acquires two electrons, when an atom completes two electrons in its valence shell, it means stability and unreactivity. This rule is said to be the duplet rule, and this rule is only applicable for hydrogen, for lithium, for beryllium. This rule is applicable for hydrogen, for lithium, for beryllium. So as these elements get stability when it complete two electron in its only shell. Hydrogen has only one electron, so it need one electron to complete its shell, and its electronic configuration will be similar to the electronic configuration of helium. The second rule is said to be the octet rule, or rule of 8. According to this rule, if an atom wants to get stability and reactivity, then it will have to complete 8 electrons in its valence shell. It means the presence of 8 electrons in the valence shell of an atom means stability and unreactivity. Now chlorine has 7 electrons in its outermost shell. The atomic number of chlorine is 17. So in first shell it accommodates 2 electrons, in the second 8, and in the last, in the valence shell, it has 7 electrons. Now in order to get stability, chlorine will have to gain an electron, and it complete 8 electrons in its valence shell. So Lewis introduced the concept of valence, or the valence concept, for stability of an atom. The second concept is the orbital concept. It is based on overlapping of atomic orbital. It means that for the completion of its orbital, atom will have to overlap their atomic orbital. Remember that one orbital accommodate maximum of 2 electrons. Therefore, the overlapping orbital must be half-filled. It will contain 1 electron. If 2 orbitals overlap with one another, then one orbital will have 1 electron, and the other one also will have 1 electron. The atomic orbitals overlap to form molecular orbital. The overlapping orbital is either head-to-head and sidewise. So we have two types of bond. The sigma bond, where the atoms overlap, where the orbitals overlap with one another like this, head-to-head overlapping, head-on overlapping. Such type of bond is said to be the sigma bond. There is another overlapping in which two atoms form chemical bond by sidewise overlapping. So this type of bond leads to the pi bond formation. This concept will be explained in the next classes, in first year, inshallah, in detail. But still remember that according to orbital concept, atomic orbital overlap, they will have 1 electron. When they overlap, they will form molecular orbital. There are two types of overlapping: head-to-head overlapping, which leads to the formation of sigma bond, and sidewise overlapping, which leads to the formation of pi bond. Now, what is a covalent bond? What is an ionic bond? A chemical bond and their type. So, first of all, what is chemical bond? This is the attractive force which hold the atoms together in the form of molecules. Atom reacts to form a chemical bond. Remember that when element reacts, a chemical bond is formed. But when compound reacts, chemical bond rearrange. In compound, there is already a chemical bond there. When two compounds react with one another, then a chemical bond only rearrange. For example, when hydrogen react with hydrogen, a chemical bond is formed. When chlorine react with chlorine, a chemical bond is formed. But when chlorine react with water, then rearrangement of bond will take place. So when element reacts, a chemical bond form, but when compound reacts, chemical bonds only rearrange. The chemical bond has been divided into 4 types: the ionic bond, covalent bond, coordinate covalent bond, and metallic bond. In the next lecture, we will inshallah discuss these types of chemical bond one by one. So it is all for today. Goodbye and have a nice day.